Hello, this is Dino Patti Djalal, founder and chairman of Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia, the largest grassroots foreign policy group in Indonesia and in Southeast Asia. We are delighted in 2015, ASEAN decided to make a fundamental and strategic decision. That is to turn the association into a people-centered ASEAN. This means that from then on, all ASEAN decisions would have to be devoted for the benefit of the peoples of ASEAN, and that ASEAN peoples would have to be active participants in ASEAN activities and programs. And this only makes sense because, after all, the ASEAN Charter itself begins with the word "we the peoples" of ASEAN member states. And we're also glad that in the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, this people-to-people connectivity has been reaffirmed as a principal element of ASEAN's future direction. However, there is a huge problem. ASEAN has faced difficulties in grassrooting. The majority of citizens in ASEAN countries do not yet understand the concept of ASEAN community, and many have yet to embrace their so-called ASEAN identity. Most of them have no clue what ASEAN centrality means, and more importantly, most civil society organizations in ASEAN countries do not know one another and do not connect in the scale that would be meaningful to create a people-centered ASEAN. It is for these reasons that FPCI and other civil society organizations in ASEAN are convening what we hope to be a historic and milestone event in the efforts to realize a people-centered ASEAN, and that is by convening the ASEAN for the People Conference. The purpose of this AFPC is to identify and connect the ASEAN peoples via civil society organizations from various sectors that are mentioned in the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. At AFPC, these civil societies will be able to showcase their activities on many sectors that are relevant to society, such as education, technology, climate change, sustainability, culture, digital safety, good governance, health, peace building, religious tolerance, food security, and many others. We will also invite influential civil society figures to come and speak. The ASEAN for the People Conference will consist of at least 3 events. One is a general exhibition whereby civil society organizations from ASEAN will be able to display their work to the general public. Secondly, a series of discussions among the ASEAN civil society organizations on a number of issues that are relevant to ASEAN's future. And third, a heart-to-heart dialogue between ASEAN leaders with civil society organizations. All the exhibitions, discussions, sessions, dialogues, roundtable will be open to the public free of charge. And we expect thousands of the general public to come to the ASEAN for the People's Conference. The AFPC will be held on 6 and 7 September 2025. That is Saturday and Sunday in Jakarta, Indonesia. And by convening this event, we hope to be constructive partners to ASEAN governments in order to realize the vision of ASEAN community and to solidify a strong sense of ASEAN identity among our peoples. If you are a civil society organization based in Southeast Asia and you would like to join this AFPC and meet other CSOs and advocate your cause, please join us. And this invitation also goes to civil society organizations in ASEAN dialogue partner countries. You are expected to pay a minimum registration fee of $100, and you're also expected to cover your own flight and accommodation to Jakarta. And you will be allocated your own booth to display your activities for the public to see. To join the ASEAN for the People's Conference, here is the registration information and the link. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you on 6 and 7 September in Jakarta and to our collaboration in this historic event.